I'm very proud to tell you guys this video is going to be brought to you by G Fuel, and right now they have a brand new Kaiju number 8 energy formula. You guys know, if you've been keeping up with my videos on my other channel, I love Kaiju number 8. I am extremely proud to say that I've tried this one out. This energy formula of the Kiwi Berry Blitz is absolutely insane, and you get that energy formula itself. There's just enough caffeine in the energy formula itself to get your day started. Another huge plus is the fact that there's zero crash when you use it, so you ain't got to worry about being Konohamaru and not being able to perform because you ain't got the energy. Also, you get all the vitamins and minerals and antioxidants that are going to get your day going, and best of all, there's zero sugar, which is a huge plus to me. You guys know that running multiple YouTube channels, it's not an easy thing to do. And so I do time to time need an energy drink to pick me up. And so I go with G Fuel because it's a lot healthier than some of the energy drinks that are out there. Use my promo code KAGE in order to get your discount. When you click on my affiliate link down in the description box, you can purchase the Kaiju number 8 box as well as any other anime themed G Fuel products that strike your fancy. Doing so really helps support the channel. Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today there's a big elephant in the room, or rather a big old Sasuke in the room that we need to be having a conversation about, because as we all know, at the end of chapter 12 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, Boruto got sniped by Jura with a compressed Bijudama that just barely missed his vital points and has Boruto coughing up blood and unable to stand back up, and we have Jura straight up declaring that he's going to kill Boruto because he is too dangerous to be left alive. This, of course, has left many of us eagerly awaiting the next chapter, because it looks as if we're going to have that Momoshiki greatness coming to bless us in the next manga chapter, which is why in today's newest Naruto Explain video, we're going to be having a discussion on why this moment right here, this moment right now, it is the perfect time for Momoshiki to make his long-awaited debut in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, and why we're now at the moment where this is inevitable and it's paying off a ton of foreshadowing. So as a quick reminder, since every time the prospect of Momoshiki returning gets brought up here, there are people who inevitably write in the comment section that, hey, Momoshiki can't take over Boruto's body anymore, and then you ask them why, and then they point to chapter 67 of the manga, and they point to episode 293 of the anime. So let's clear this up right now before we go any further. If you think that you're confusing Momoshiki reviving using Boruto's body and Momoshiki hijacking Boruto's body, they are two different things. By bringing Boruto back to life and giving up the remaining 18% of his data to repair Boruto's internal organ, he made Boruto 100% Otsutsuki, but it came at the expense of Momoshiki being able to resurrect using Boruto's body. By resurrect, I mean the way that Kashin Koji kills Jigen. He burns them like some overcooked hamburgers, and then Ishiki was shown being reborn from Jigen's dead corpse in his full-blown Otsutsuki glory. What Momoshiki lost was the ability to do that, come back as he was originally, looking like himself. What he did not lose, however, was the ability to hijack Boruto's body under the right circumstances. Basically, the Borushiki transformation, as people in the fandom like to call it. If Boruto gets too low on chakra, Momoshiki can hijack control. If Boruto is too emotionally distraught and his yin chakra is out of whack, since yin chakra is tied to the spirit and the emotions, then Momoshiki can take over. If Boruto's near death, then Momoshiki can take over. We have multiple circumstances where this can happen, where Momoshiki can take over. At the end of part 1, we saw it after Momoshiki revived him that Boruto lost control. Momoshiki took control of Boruto just long enough to rescue Kawaki, because Momoshiki needs Kawaki alive to feed him to the Ten Tails. Momoshiki, as he was gaslighting Boruto into despair, was close to taking over, as he was telling him that he would slaughter the members of Team 10 before they killed Boruto, and Boruto has his body as a result betray him by the Karma Seal cutting on against his will, and Boruto was left telling Momoshiki how he better not attack his friend. If Boruto's body was a car, to use an example, Momoshiki simply lost the ability to finance the car. He finances it by giving him the Karma Seal, just as the bank gives you a car loan. And after a certain amount of time, Momoshiki's karma extracts 100% and he gets reborn using Boruto's body, The same way after you pay off the loan, the bank sends you the car title. It's the same thing here. Momoshiki cannot do that, but he can still take control of Boruto's body for a short period of time. Like the guy who goes into the dealer to test drive a car or goes to a car rental to rent the car for a short period of time. So now that we've established that Momoshiki can still take over Boruto's body and why that's still the case, let's look at why Momoshiki's return, it is now imminent. So Boruto has been rather busy the last couple of days tops. You could argue all this stuff in the last 12 chapters happened all on the same day. So though I would say be conservative and say a couple days. So he's returned home, he's fought the Claw Grimes, he's fought Code, he's bullied Code, he's fought the Shinju, went to the hideout of Orochimaru to recover, then came back to Konoha, rizzed up Sarada and class rep, and then had Mitsuki cockblock him, which led to Boruto throwing hands at Mitsuki like it wasn't Pride Month. Then he unintentionally rizzed up Mitsuki, then he knocks Kawaki on his ass and has him sideline himself because his coma seal was activating and he needed to suppress Momoshiki. The whole time Ada's watching this and her panties are getting wet. Then the guy swoops in to save Himawari. Then he saves Sarada. He lectures Konohamaru, nearly kills Hidari with one attack, and then all after that, after he's done listening to Kawaki, getting in his face where he's close enough to smell his stanky ass breath, Boruto gets shot and put down out for the count. Boruto hasn't had time to breathe and he's clearly reaching his limits, which is a ripe recipe for Momoshiki to take over and make things worse. After all, who is going to fight Jura when this battle first happens? It's very likely going to be Kawaki, since we are not counting on Delta to do anything because she's folding immediately once they fight. The moment that Karma activates, Momoshiki is going to say, "It is my turn," and all hell stands a chance at breaking loose. Because based on what we saw, Boruto isn't in any condition to suppress Momoshiki at this time, and it's for the better. Look at what this does for conflict. Konohamaru was just written as saying, dude, you cannot just pull up into Konoha like nothing happened 3 years ago. And Boruto got Sarada saying, hey sensei, it could have been worse, I could have been dead, or worse than that. Which, what the hell is worse than death? Really want to know what Sarada's thinking there. If she got turned into a tree, she could be a cherry blossom like her father. And Sakura, she could build matching father-daughter bird's nests for them. Momoshiki hijacking Boruto in front of Konohamaru, it just continues to prove everything that Kawaki said was correct. Boruto's still a danger, that Boruto needs to be eliminated, and this one moment will erase all the good that Boruto has seemingly done. And guess what all that does? It builds conflict for Boruto. It takes advantage of dramatic irony where we as the readers know Boruto is innocent, but the characters in universe don't, and it makes us root for Boruto to fix everything that much more. He's a more sympathetic character, and his internal and external conflicts, they are now all coming to a head. The other thing that it does is that it allows for Jura to remind Kawaki that he's in that Joe Biden and Donald Trump sleeping schedule where he needs to take several naps during the day, and he'll help him along. He'll knock the emo out of Kawaki and he'll put that boy to sleep. And just as he's getting ready to throw Kawaki over his shoulder and leave, Momoshiki shoots a rasengan at this man and he barely misses a vital spot, and then he says, we're now even. That's enough for someone like Jura to get a total murder boner and just start engaging in combat. This guy thought that he was having the time of his life fighting against Himawari, who was basically learning to fight as she was fighting and learning to control Kurama's power as she was using it. And if something like that could get this guy excited, what do you think seeing Momoshiki would do? This man would set Kawaki down. He would pull out a book to read information on Momoshiki. Then Momoshiki would just shoot the book with another rasengan. And then these two, they just start throwing hands because, as we all know, Jura loves the books. And this man was about to whoop Kawaki's ass if he stepped into the bookstore. So imagine what he does if Momoshiki shoots a rasengan at his book. Momoshiki in control of Boruto instantly becomes a huge threat. This Boruto's already a lot stronger than Jigen. Now that you throw the Karma Seal and True Essence with Momoshiki into full control, this is where the battle becomes something where Jura obviously is going to have to use full power. The story didn't write him as saying he wasn't in full power when he fought Himawari for no reason, especially with them being curious about how it would feel to fight more serious. This man is fiending for action, and Momoshiki, he is the one. he wasn't bothered about Boruto. He saw him fighting and he went, yeah, this guy's lightweight. And he proceeded to let Hidari do all the fighting, all while he's studying the moves. He's gonna see Momoshiki and think that, hey, I got the upper hand. Like, yeah, bro, I know all of your jutsu. And Momoshiki is just a different animal who just fights differently. All of a sudden, Jura becomes that defense in a football game, which I'm talking about American football for the 60% of my viewers who are overseas. I know overseas football gets called soccer, so he's basically that NFL defense that is prepared for what they see on tape for an offense, only he gets in the game and all of a sudden the offense is running all these trick plays and new blocking formations. The wide receivers are running different routes and he's scrambling to adjust because he's not able to keep up with them doing 4 vertical plays in a row during play action passes instead of the quarterback being in the shotgun. Wide receivers who normally run the go route are suddenly doing slants and digs and curl routes. Momoshiki has a chance to mess this man Jura up and do it the moment that they start throwing hands. Then you add in the use of the flying rasengan and it is game over. Look at how Momoshiki was able to take Boruto's rasengan and his compression rasengan and go, okay, hold on a second. So you mean to tell me that if I use the compression rasengan, I'll end up ripping the arm off of my precious vessel. But if I compress it down and I shoot it like a bullet, then there's less recoil? Oh, let's do that. Clearly, I am the real genius and not this Minato knockoff. Imagine Momoshiki being able to bust out new variations of the flying rasengan and use it in more creative ways than Boruto, like, say, marking Jura and forcibly teleporting him into a rasengan, which he could do in theory since the flying rasengan can be used to teleport yourself or others as long as your chakra is connected to them. You don't have to directly touch them physically. The seal itself is enough as long as your chakra is connected to them. So touching them isn't required to teleport them. We've seen that before. That's enough to make Jura have to go on a retreat and do enough to raise the conflict in a major way. Obviously, Momoshiki will end up losing control of Boruto, but the damage, it would be done at that point. And we need Momoshiki as a chaos factor. The stage, it has finally been set for Momoshiki in my opinion, just as the stage is set for you to check out my new anime explain video on the left, or over on the right we got the Boruto chapter review for those of you guys who've not seen it just yet.